I know you guys saw that title and was like, Black Rain, I know damn well you're not about to defend Orochimaru. And no, I'm not about to defend Orochimaru at all. I do look at Orochimaru's character and I try to figure out why. I like to ask the question why. I like to ask why some people are lacking morality and lacking a lot of common decency. And Orochimaru is one of those characters that is very twisted, very vile. He's very evil. He was one of the major antagonists that we were first introduced to in the Chunin exams in a very terrifying way, might I add. Now, if you guys don't know who Orochimaru is, if you haven't watched Naruto and you don't know who this guy is, he is one of the most twisted characters we have been introduced to in the entire anime. Now, why do I say this man's twisted? Why do I say he lacks morality? This man literally is known for abducting kids, experimenting on human bodies, like kidnapping people in general, right? And he's known to do anything that he can to achieve his goal. Now, before you understand all of this and ask why he's doing all this, you have to understand Orochimaru's background. Now, we don't get a lot of it. We don't get a lot of Orochimaru's background. They gave us a little bit here and there as far as like his parents dying at a young age, him being part of the legendary signing with Jiraiya and Tsunade, him being a student of Hiruzen Sarutobi, and him also being the teacher of Anko Mitarashi. Now, you're probably asking yourself, when did this take place? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know the exact time Orochimaru ended up leaving the Hidden Leaf Village, which is his home country, or I guess you could say home village, Konoha. But he was pretty much an adult when he left the village, because the legendary signing went on a lot of missions together, and they were shown to be super grown when they were fighting Hanzo. So Orochimaru probably left the village around maybe his mid to late 20s, I want to say. Maybe early 20s. I'm not exactly sure. Let me know in the comments down below. But he was definitely older than Sasuke when he left the village, because Sasuke was around 12, 13 when he left the village. But you have to ask yourself, with everything that you know about Orochimaru, was Orochimaru justified in his actions? Well, what is Orochimaru's goal before we get into that? Orochimaru's goal is to achieve immortality, to learn all of the jutsu in the world. Because Orochimaru has stated, living his life, that in order to learn all of the jutsu in the world, you have to prolong your life. You have to expand your life. And to do that, he has to create a jutsu that causes him to become immortal. That is his overall goal. Now you have to ask yourself, why is this Orochimaru's goal? Well, Orochimaru has seen a lot of death in his life. He has seen his parents die. He was sent to an orphanage. And then when he became part of the legendary signing with Tsunade and Jiraiya, he ended up experiencing Tsunade's brother's death. And he also ended up experiencing Tsunade's lover's death. And there was actually an episode where Orochimaru shed a tear when Tsunade's lover died. He ended up giving Tsunade back the necklace that she put around her loved ones, because anytime she put a necklace, or the first Hokage's necklace, around said loved ones, they ended up dying. Unless you're Naruto, of course. Now, Orochimaru noticed this pattern, and this drove him to want to become immortal, because he was tired of seeing death. He didn't want to experience death. And I guess you can say he was fearful of death, that he wanted to avoid it altogether and become the strongest being to actually avoid said fate. Now, I guess you can say in this sense Orochimaru is somewhat justified, because I get being fearful of death. I get wanting to prevent death from happening to you and your loved ones around you. I do understand that. However, it was the methods he took to achieve this. This man used people in his own village, outside of his village, as pawns to achieve his goal. If you guys remember, there were 3 sound ninja in the Chunin exam that he used as pawns. Dosu, I think Dosu was one of them. I'm not sure his name. It was the guy that Sasuke ended up wrecking during the Chunin exam when he first activated his curse mark. He ended up breaking his arms. You know that terrifying scene. You know what I'm talking about. Keen. It was Keen. I think Dosu. I remember the name Dosu. I'm not sure, but it was this 3-man. I'll put them up on the screen. This 3-man squad here. They were all used as pawns. And those were just 3 of many pawns that Orochimaru had. I mean, if you look at the Sound 4, they were all pawns for Orochimaru. Kimimaro was a pawn for Orochimaru. Kabuto was even a pawn for Orochimaru. Now, Kabuto was a more valuable asset to Orochimaru, right? I mean, even Sasuke was a pawn, even though Sasuke ended up turning on him. But when you see the way Orochimaru used ninja to get to his goal, when Orochimaru ended up mentally and psychologically abusing these people, even physically abusing, he would take their bodies in order to prolong his life, because you guys saw that Orochimaru took on the image of multiple people. He took on the image of a proctor. He took on the image of the Kazekage, which was Gaara's dad in part 1. He took on the image of a lady in the Chunin exams, which, by the way, was one of the most terrifying debuts ever for a kid's show. And then he took on the images of multiple other people in the anime as well. So Orochimaru is shown to not care about stealing bodies. He does not care. This man does this shit like an everyday chore. He's even responsible for killing his old mentor, the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Now, I'm not sure if you guys peeped this or not, or if you guys remember at all, but before he started fighting the third Hokage after the Chunin exams, after Sasuke versus Gaara's match, Orochimaru was shedding tears before he had to kill the third Hokage. And that prompted me to believe that Orochimaru didn't actually want to kill Hiruzen, but he held so much hatred for him and the village that he actually went through with it. Now, the only thing is that I guess you can say Orochimaru didn't completely lose his humanity in that aspect of it, because if you think about it, if you don't really care for someone, you wouldn't shed tears about killing them. And I'm like, maybe Orochimaru does have a little bit of humanity left in him, because while the third Hokage was dying and while he was closing his eyes, the last thing that he saw was Kid Orochimaru, the kid that he helped raise, the kid that he helped mentor, you know what I mean? So Hiruzen still saw some humanity in Orochimaru, and it was even said that Hiruzen couldn't bring himself to kill Orochimaru before he fled the village. So there was something that Hiruzen still saw in Orochimaru, and even Orochimaru himself, even though he won't admit it, he still saw his old teacher in Hiruzen Sarutobi before his death. Now, the other aspect of Orochimaru that I cannot justify is him preying on kids' vulnerability. Because if you guys saw Team Dosu, I just remembered the guy's name. The guy that Sasuke wrecked by breaking his arms, I think his name was Zaku. So Zaku, Dosu, and Kin were the three. But he preyed on Zaku's weakness, because Zaku had a flashback during the Chunin exams as well, to where he was running away from a group of guys from stealing food. And Orochimaru basically told him, you will never have to be weak again if you come with me. He did that to Kimimaro, he did that to Jugo, Karin, all of his subordinates he did this to. And this is a form of manipulation that I just can't justify, because, dude, you're manipulating kids just to eventually kill them and use them for your game, for your long-term goal. You know what I mean? So I don't really rock with that. I don't rock with Orochimaru just stealing kids and abducting them and using them to his benefit. You know, that's actually kind of asinine to me. I don't understand that at all. I never understood that method. But everything that Orochimaru did was twisted. But it was all for the goal of becoming immortal and learning every jutsu that he could, because it was said that he developed forbidden jutsu as well. Now, the part that confused me was the war arc, because Orochimaru was brought back to life by Sasuke after Sasuke killed him in Shippuden. So Orochimaru was brought back to life. And during the war journey, or during the war arc, I should say, Orochimaru ended up turning a new leaf, no pun intended. So Orochimaru ended up approaching Tsunade, healing her because her body was cut in half. She was getting wrecked by Madara. But he ended up healing Tsunade. And Tsunade was shocked, like, dude, you're healing me? And I believe they brought up I think they brought up Jiraiya too during this point, because Jiraiya was dead by this point, his former teammate. Tsunade was like, looks like Jiraiya wasn't wrong about you. And then Orochimaru said something that stood out to me. He was like, Jiraiya could have lived long enough to see himself become evil, just like I could see myself become good. So, I mean, I'm like, so that proves that Orochimaru did have some humanity left in him, but his methods were some of the worst. And I don't think that it was originally planned for Orochimaru to become a good guy, quote unquote good guy. I put quotations around that because I don't know. I just can't believe that Orochimaru is a fully good guy. I don't know. He has his own created kid these days, but I don't know. But Orochimaru becoming a quote unquote good guy, to me, I don't think that was in the original plans, but what do I know? But Orochimaru's journey in general is very interesting, and it makes yourself question, was he justified? I don't think he was personally justified. I think he was justified in being fearful of death and wanting to become immortal to dodge a shared fate that we all share together. But at the same time, the methods that he used to get there or to semi-achieve it was some of the absolute worst, and I can't stand behind that. Let me know how you guys feel about Orochimaru in the comments down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.